monsters under our bed, and I cover murder, mystery to the paranormal. And today we're going to be talking about the latest from the Kiely Rodni case. At the very end, we'll touch on, there's a little update with Dylan Rounds, nothing big, but we'll touch on that at the end. And then we'll take some phone calls, probably, 5:30, probably within half hour, 45 minutes. And yeah, so before we get started, real quick, for those that are newer to my channel, I like to cover or feature missing person posters. So before we get started with the Kiely Rodni case, we're going to go into a couple of these. And so, of course, we got to show Kaylee Jones, who sadly went missing on June 14th. She was last seen around 11 p.m. Near her family's residence in the area of Whooping Creek Church Road in Carrollton, Georgia. Let's see. She walked out of her family home sometime overnight on the 14th, and she does land on the autistic spectrum and does need immediate care. There is a $5,000 reward. She's 16 years old, brown hair, brown eyes, 5'10", and weighs 135 pounds. So there is that. And then this was a special request. So I do also take special requests. And if you need my email, my mods will be happy to put in the chat there. And so if you do have like a family member or a friend that recently went missing and they're not getting the exposure, you can just email me, and if you just give me some details and the picture, I'd be happy to feature them in an upcoming live. So this was a special request sent to me the other day. This is, and I hope I don't butcher this name, Jolisa Fuentes. So let's see, they've kind of got a timeline here, which is amazing. So it looks like on Sunday, August 7th, she hung out with some friends. Let's see, 3 a.m. she came home but ended up leaving to go buy something. At 3:59 a.m. sister received a missed phone call from her number. At 4 a.m. last seen at the Arco. AM PM at Highland Highway 43 in Nebraska Avenue. So it looks like she was last seen or heard from early in the morning. Sister received 2 missed video chat calls from the number at 5:24, 5:25, and then the family contacts the Selma Police Department. And at 8:26 p.m. they put a Facebook post with her missing. So this is Selma. She is 22 years old. Last seen. So it says 4 a.m. Sunday, August 7th. So here's her car. It's a gray silver 2011 Hyundai Accent. Looks like it's got rear tinted windows. Here is the license plate number 8MPU766. If you see this or her, please contact the number down below, 559-896-2525. So there is that. And then, so before we get into Kiely Rodni, of course there was another couple that went missing basically the same night, and this was pretty big. You got a couple that goes missing, and then you got a teenager that go missing around kind of the same area. And there has been an update now with Juan and Janette. Sadly, it's not a good ending, but there is at least some kind of closure. So let's go into the article real quick here. Jump over to this real quick. So it says, couple missing for more than a week, found dead near car in Nevada County. The car was found on Highway 20 and Porker Flats Road after someone called Gridley Police Department to report the crash. Yuba City, California, 2 people were missing since August 7th, were found dead near a car Wednesday evening. The woman, 29-year-old Janette, and the man tentatively identified as Juan. In a joint statement, the car was found on Highway 20 and Parker Flats Road, according to someone called the Gridley Police Department, reporting a crash. So it looks like they drove off the embankment, sadly, and it's a steep embankment. And we'll take a quick look at this. Very tragic. And apparently they went into some brush, and that's why no one could see him. And looks like a devastating crash. So the Highway Patrol and Nevada County Sheriff's Office responded to the area and found both people outside the car. So it looks like they must have been flown out of the car. Always wear your seatbelt, guys. And it says the families were told that they were going to Hot August Nights in Reno, Nevada, which is a classic car event. They were planning to return the night of August 7th. Law enforcement used cell phone information to try to locate the couple in Nevada County and searched the area where their phones were last located, but could not find the car. And so, close that. And so this is where they were found. We'll look at the pictures, and then I'll show you exactly where this took place. So here's one picture here. And so here's their vehicle here, sadly. Looks all banged up. And as you can see, it's quite a steep embankment here. And it looks like it was just hidden in the brush here, sadly. Another picture here. It looks pretty dinged up. It said that they were obviously ejected, sadly. Who knows if they were wearing their seatbelts, if they could have survived that or not. So doing a little research, I kind of noticed this, it's a mile marker here, 294, so we kind of looked this up here and pull this back up. It's so crazy because, on their missing poster, it says Poker Flats in Penn Valley State, and they were literally, so you've got Poker Flats Road, there's actually like two of them. Actually, I guess you could kind of say three of them here. But there's basically two roads, and they were literally found like right in the middle. So we'll zoom in here. And I think it's right here. So that's 290. Okay, so I need to go back one. Go up here just a little bit. Oh, here it is. Yep, there's 294. So here's the 294 that we see in the right here. So this is let me close this here. So this is where they went off, unfortunately. Not sure which way they were headed. I've heard one report say that they were on this side of the road. Maybe they were there could have been some kind of something flying in front of me. There could have been something that came out in the road, and they tried to swerve and maybe ended up going down the embankment. Not sure, but clearly quite steep, and unfortunately it's very tragic. And if they were ejected, I'm assuming they weren't wearing their seatbelts. So just a reminder, wear your seatbelts. I had a friend, as a matter of fact, not a close friend, but a friend. He took a drive to Moab. He was in a Jeep, and of course he was drinking, and he ended up swerving and flipping his vehicle a couple times. And because he wasn't wearing his seatbelt, got ejected, and of course the car flipped on top of him, instantly killing him, sadly. So yeah, prayers to the family there. Ronnie says, allegedly someone saw them veer off the road but kept going. Then a while later called it in. I believe it was the person that got law enforcement out there. Oh, interesting. That's terrible. Yeah, that's kind of what I heard. I didn't hear that second part as far as them. Yeah. So that's terrible. So just kind of looking back at the view here. So this is Highway 20. And back out here just a little bit, trying to get where my bearings are at here. So this is where the accident happened, and then of course, so it's quite a ways away from where. Yeah, so it's an hour 20 minutes from the Prosser Ranch, Prosser Family Campground. So anyway, that's tragic, but at least the family does get closure. But prayers for the family. So let's see. So moving on to the Kiely Rodni case. So the Placer County Sheriff's Office did put out like a small statement earlier today, I believe. And it just says, we'd like to thank the Tahoe Truckee community and the public for the cooperation and support as we continue the search for, investigate the 16-year-old Kiely Rodni's disappearance. Over the past several days, we have received duplicate tips from citizens, and it has slowed our detectives down for pursuing credible leads. As many of you can imagine, our detectives and staff are working around the clock to vet and investigate every lead that comes in. Be rest assured, if you submitted your tip using one of the methods below, we've received it. Our staff may not return your message or call due to the number of tips we receive each day. Our priority is to bring Kiely home to her family. So I think this is kind of huge. So that they offer kind of 3 ways to submit a tip. So they've got the regular tip line with the phone number 530-581-6320, option 7. Or you can email Sheriff Tahoe investtips@placer.ca.gov. Or if you want to do anonymously upload, and I think this is huge, I can't say it, upload photos and videos from the party here. There's a link here, and I'll actually put that in the description. I put everything else, but I'll try to get that in the description of this live show at the end. Anonymous. Boy, I get tongue-tied there. So quickly we'll go over the timeline. And so one of the things, obviously, in my trailer video, I talked about how many bodies of water, and we'll kind of get into that in a little bit. But we'll talk about like all the different bodies of water that are there. And then I thought, since Adventures with Purpose is coming out, I believe tomorrow, they have a video that they did, which is very informative and interesting. It talks about what to do in a situation if your vehicle ends up submerged in water. And there's a lot of things. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched part of it, and there's a lot of things that I remember being taught when I was younger that clearly wouldn't work now, and some misconceptions. So I thought we'd watch that video here in a bit. It's very, very interesting. So we'll definitely take a look into that. Let me back up. So I thought we'd just touch on the timeline a little bit, and then where she was at, and just kind of look at like the route home and just all the different bodies of water, and we'll go from there. So it says at 6:08, that was when she was caught on camera at a local business. And then at 9, Sammy arrives at the party. 9:30, campers who were in the other campground witnessed a train of cars coming in at 9:30. And then at 10 p.m. is when Kiely and Mags arrive at the party. Now, shortly after that, Mags said that she left the party with her boyfriend. So that kind of basically left Kiely alone. And then you got Sammy. Well, then you got Sammy and Kiely hanging out. Sammy and Kiely go to Kylie's car at 11 p.m. to go charge phones and drink more alcohol that was in Kylie's car. Sammy asked Kiely for a ride home from the party because her ride was leaving and she wanted to stay longer. Kiely texts his mom and says she plans on leaving the party in 45 minutes. I'm going to switch over this one. This one's got a little bit more details into it because it actually references some of Sammy's actual interviews. So we're going to switch over to this real quick. So back into the 11 or 11:30, because during the interview, I think she says 11 and 11:30. Sammy said that they had other friends in the car when they charged Kiely's phone. So that's interesting. So there's definitely other witnesses. And talked about her texting her mom and asked Kiely for a ride home because her ride was leaving. Then they all walked back to the party, then split up. Sammy then immediately goes to try and find a ride because we wanted to, and then she stops mid-sentence. Then 11:30, that is when she texts, Kiely texts her mom saying she's going to be leaving in about 45 minutes, which means she'd be getting home around, or leaving at 12:15. At 12 a.m., Kiely getting ready to go. Kiely told friends at the party that she wanted to go home around midnight. That's according to the spokesperson, Angela. At 12:15, Kiely is supposed to leave. 12:25, Sammy found Kiely to tell her she had found another ride and was leaving the party. And then last seen, this is apparently when she was last seen, 12:30. And then last cell phone activity, 12:33. And then obviously there's the phone call with Sammy at 12:36, which just is weird just because that doesn't line up if her phone was dead. Notes. Kylie's mother, Lindsay, previously told The Independent that her daughter was planning to go to the car show with her that night. She vanished. Instead, she decided to go to the campground party and has been missing ever since. Miss Rodney said that her daughter had already gone to the car show in Reno, just over the border with California, early in the week. The teen had an iPad, which is at her family home, and her laptop, I think this is big too, her laptop is believed to have been in the car, which is still missing. So I think that's huge. That's another piece of evidence that people can be looking out for. Kylie's mother said she knew her daughter was going to the party in the woods, but wasn't concerned. There have been parties there every weekend for years. The party was obviously supposed to be a senior farewell party and like end of the summer party. Mags and Kelly showed up together, but Mags left 10 minutes later because she was uncomfortable, because apparently a bunch of people was coming up to her, this is weird, just like being peer pressured into taking bong rips. I feel like she was probably peer pressured, but maybe something more serious, cocaine or something heavier. Sammy was concerned because of the amount of people and the age, obviously, difference. So there's that. So I'm going to skip this timeline here. So obviously the main things missing is Kiely, the Honda CRV. The CRV has a sunroof, regular hubcaps. The biggest thing I think sticks out is obviously the license plate, which is 8-year 127. I think that's quite memorable. And then this is just some of the, looking at like all the bodies of water. It's kind of crazy. At the party here, you've got the Prosser Creek Reservoir. So you got this giant body of water. And this would be, just putting in Google Maps, like, her route to go home. Who knows if, which exact way she would take. But if she took this one here down 89, there's also another little body of water. It looks small, but obviously we're zoomed out. But it's fairly big. And a lot of these are, I would say, 400 yards or less from the... or not 400 yards, excuse me. 100 yards or less from the road, which is scary. And then when you get to 184, there's a bunch of these big bodies of water here. You got one on the left, and you got Donner Lake, and then there's two more. It shows a third one, but I think this one's dried out. I'll kind of show you on the Google Earth here. But if you look at all these pins, most of these pins are bodies of water. And you look at some of these, I mean, they're just right off the road. And not much like barrier that you could easily just drive off into one of these lakes if you were especially if you were inebriated. And then there's a couple right here as well, down this road here, that are on our way to the Lost Trail Lodge that she could have easily drove into. Just checking the chat real quick. The water is low. Wouldn't there be tracks on the banks? Yeah, you would think so, but then again, I mean, there's been so many incidences where there's people that just drove in to bodies of water. They'd be found again years later. So, but yeah, you would think that there would be some kind of track, especially if there was some kind of. Let's take a look at the. I definitely get what you're saying. I got the picture here. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like tracks, you would see some kind of tire tracks going into the water. I'm sure it's possible, but still, a lot of bodies of water that she could have easily drove into. So I'm going to play this video, and then we'll jump over to Dog the Bounty Hunter, because there's some news with that. Then there's been this crazy YouTube short video. I don't know if everybody's seen yet. Which is weird. The chance of getting killed by your bestie is low. I don't know if everybody's seen this, but never zero. This was like a YouTube short that's been kind of going around, and people are, of course, the Sammy Smith. I'm not sure if that is actually Sammy Smith, and we'll look into that for sure. But that is kind of a weird thing to say. But we'll dive more into that in a little bit. But I want to show you guys the video with Ventures with a Purpose, because I think it's very interesting. Let me just see what everybody's saying real quick. If I were driving home tips, yeah, I'd think back roads. I drove back roads all the time. Yeah. And yeah, one of the things about this place is there is so many ways that she could have snuck out. Or if she was, let's see, okay, victim of foul play, there's just so many different routes out of this party. So the party was here. And it just it's like a spider web that just goes out. There's so many different ways that you could have came out of this party. You've got the two main, you got the main paved road that kind of comes out, but there's all these dirt roads that even coming down south, since everything is kind of dried up. I think you could even, especially since he's got a sports utility vehicle, she could have branched off, went up north, or somebody took her up north. The worst thing is that she went missing in basically Tahoe National Forest. So let me catch this up real quick. Okay, so this is a video. I thought this was so interesting because this definitely is very informative, and it's definitely some tools that I'm going to definitely want to get soon, just because, I know we're going to probably go out and try to search for more people again. And you never know when you might end up in a situation like this. If you drive and you got bodies of water, this could happen to somebody. So I want to play little bits and pieces of it because Obviously, I can't play the whole thing because, I mean, I can, but I don't want to take their content. But this is Adventures with Purpose, and this is basically how to escape a car underwater, which I think would be very informative.
Overwhelming weight, obviously.
I'm making this video in hopes that this can save at least one of my viewers' life. My name is Josh Cantu. I work as a videographer with Adventures with Purpose, and our job is to find people who are underwater in their vehicles. Now, as a husband and father, I am passionate about this video because most people think they know how to get out of a vehicle when it's in the water, but they are wrong. What we know is completely wrong.
Reaction time and speed are key for survival. A sinking car will not immediately submerge, which means there's a small window of opportunity to act.
So you may wonder, why is it so difficult if you drive into the water to get out of your vehicle?
Yeah, this is, like I said, I haven't watched this whole thing, but this is very informative. And like, because I remember there's a few things that he's going to get into real soon that I was kind of taught or remember, shown, and that they're all, it's all outdated information now, especially since all our cars are, electronic windows, so we can't just roll down our window. The second that car gets somewhat submerged, the electronics are going to go out. You're not going to be able to roll down your window. And then the other misconception is trying to break the window in the middle. But we'll watch this, like I said. I'm going to kind of skip and pause, just so I'm not... so I'm commentating over it.
It is almost impossible to break this window without a proper tool, and this video is going to teach you what you need to do, what tool you need to get.
An estimated 400 people die each year because their cars are trapped in water, and it turns out many of us are doing exactly the wrong thing in that moment. We roll up the windows and hope for an air bubble or call 911.
What you're about to hear are actual 911 calls from people in sinking cars.
Help me! I got fire department calling. I don't know what to do. The car is sinking. It's to my right. It's up to my right. It's going down fast. I can't get out.
I'm not making this video to sell you one of these.
Okay, what he's going to show is like something that I'm literally going to go out like tomorrow and get. This is huge. This little piece of thing, it's amazing. But yeah, a car it'll kind of float for a little bit, but then they usually will sink right to the bottom. Chris Davis said, I hated electric windows just for this reason. Yeah, and plus then, when the electrics go out, they're the worst to have to replace too.
I'm making this video because I have seen things on this channel. I have seen things being a part of this team.
Okay, so I'm going to skip this forward a little bit.
I want you to be able to give yourself the tools and the chance to survive crashing into the water.
A new warning. Every year, an average of 300 people drown in their cars, and authorities are now offering a different piece of advice.
We tested underwater car a few years ago. Episode got a lot of great response, specifically because I didn't realize this. So
this is the guy, I forget his name, from Mythbusters, who I grew up watching. I love him.
That is a lot of people's greatest phobia, is being in a car when it goes underwater.
Don't try to open the door. Water pressure makes this extremely difficult to do. And even if you could open the door, this would allow for even more water to come in.
Oh my God, it's coming up under the windshield. Wow, I can feel the pressure. All right, I only have a couple more breaths here.
After we aired that episode, we got a lot of new information about the fact that most cars, when they go in the water, they don't go in and then just sink. They actually go in and do what's called turning turtle. They go upside down. And that episode is this.
Can you imagine going upside down? Not only going in the water, but now you're getting flipped upside down. Ugh.
Scariest thing that's ever happened to me on the show.
The plan works to perfection as the car pitches nose first and then settles roof side down.
I'm gonna try and open it with all my might. No. Okay. Stay calm. I did not expect it. Let me see if I can open this door. No. Okay.
Yeah, well,
there's a lot to get caught up in this car, and my visibility.
yeah, we'll look at the tool at the end because they show it further on in this video, and we'll show everybody.
It's about to disappear. Here we go.
The car suddenly drops like a stone. It flips yet again, so it's back upside down. Remember that Adam's not wearing a dive mask, so his vision is even more blurred than this.
I absolutely had to partake of the onboard air supply. The car's turned over again. All right. My air pocket was changing constantly.
Okay, I'm going to skip it forward just a little bit here. But yeah, he had some trouble because I think his thing got kind of caught because he kept flipping. I think the car flipped and then it flipped again. Poor guy. I mean, obviously they had somebody there with some oxygen there, but I mean, this is, yeah, I mean, I think everybody's fear is, I think one of the biggest fears is drowning, and then drowning in a car, and yeah.
Here's the headline you must remember. You have to get out of the car before it sinks. That means you likely have under a minute to get out. Speed is the key to saving your life.
The old way of thinking was that the only way to survive was letting the car fill with water before opening the door. Not it.
See, and I remember being taught this. Just a little bit. I remember being taught that. I don't know if it was in school or if it was by my parents. I almost think it was from school and probably like driver's ed. But I do remember being taught that, to let the car fill up, and then you're supposedly, once the car fills up, you're able to open the door. But I think that's all BS.
Anymore.
Unless you want that to be your final resting place. You get out while the car is on the surface.
The first 30 to 60 seconds is when you have to get out of that vehicle.
That's leading researcher Gordon Giesbrecht, who says it's too late to try to push a door open when the car's underwater. So this Florida dive team shows what can be done.
Okay, guys, ready to go.
Let's start the clock in real time. A second after hitting the water, seatbelts off, then windows down. Within 8 seconds, both front seat passengers are out. Water now rushing in the back seat. Passengers scramble. In some cars like this one, rear windows won't roll down all the way. The escape is out the front. Everyone is safe, all in under 20 seconds.
Everybody's clear. It was very intimidating. The car.
Gosh, look at how the water just pummels in. That's so crazy. And look at how discolored the water is. I mean, you can only imagine if you opened your eyes what very little visibility you would have. Oof. But what they're going to show you here in just a minute, like I said, for those that are driving, maybe close to bodies of water, I think this is very educational. Very
went
educational.
Down quicker than I thought it would. I had a real inflow of water that I had to work against to get out, but it can be done.
Point is, everybody knew what they were supposed to do. Get your seatbelt off, open the window, period, and then get out.
See, now that he has a roll down window, so obviously that's not going to work anymore. I mean, maybe you get the window partway down, but I don't know if that'd make it worse or not. With the electrical windows.
Simple, but crucial.
Quickly roll down your side window, unbuckle yourself, and climb out. If you are too slow to react, the water pressure could pin your doors and windows shut. That means you'll have to break a window. Don't try the car's front windshield, as it's built to resist impacts.
Wow. So go ahead and get yourself out through the windshield.
Okay, so this is where the most informative video part of the video is what he's doing right here. So they're giving him different objects to test out, and the different theories back in the day of, try the middle. The weakest spot is the middle of the window. And so right now he's got a pocket knife.
Oh my goodness!
And what if you were upside down in the water right now?
Now, the first thing is don't ever try to break the front windshield. It's the most heavily fortified. You want the side windows, obviously. You want your driver's side or passenger side windows are the weakest windows.
Devastating seeing how hard this is. Because, like we all know,
I'm not crawling through this window.
Seconds matter in these situations. I mean, you can clearly see. I mean, if you have to do this, obviously, survival by all means. But this is gonna get you into trouble. Go for the tempered glass.
When you're ready to attempt an escape, look for anything you can use as a hammer. If it's heavy and hard, chances are it could work. Next, aim for the upper right corner of the window. This is most often a window's weakest point.
A few months back, Jared, Doug, and I made a video at a junkyard demonstrating how to break a window. I brought my own knife thinking I already had the tool that would work to break one of these windows. And what I learned that day was absolutely shocking.
Yeah, I literally found a video. I unfortunately don't have it, but I found a video on YouTube. I swear it's got 1 million views, over 1 million views. And it's one of these YouTube videos that uploaded like 14 years ago, like when YouTube first came out. And it's got a lot of these hitting the middle of the window, letting the car fill up so you can open the door. It's got all the wrong things. And this thing got like millions of views, and it's all the wrong things to do. It's funny. I mean, it's not funny actually. But it just shows, thank goodness we've kind of learned from mistakes.
Okay, so I'm going to close this. Now I'm going to give you a little bit of advice as well. To properly break a window, it is best to actually pick a corner. Will actually break easier rather than the middle. But it's your tool that doesn't seem to work yet.
If I didn't know the information, I would go for the middle. So
go for the middle. I mean, that's why we're doing this, is so we can educate people on what works best. So
I was gonna say, so if I didn't have this, my first response would be an elbow, which sounds like a terrible idea.
Oh, I want to see you do the elbow.
I've seen you guys try to break windows.
You want to come over here and get your side?
Come on, Josh, with your elbow. Oh, Josh. All right, so you got your fancy little tool, 30 bucks.
And keep in mind, that's not even submerged. I mean, if the water, I would assume with the water pressure, that would even almost reinforce it a little bit more. I'm not sure, but I would think so. But yeah, in that video, the video I was talking about from 14 years ago, it says use the heel of your shoe, kick it, or the elbow to the middle of the window. But as you can see, he's trying it, and he's even got the knife, and he can't break it. Oh gosh, and I just did the wrong thing. Oops, let me skip right back to it. Okay, here we go.
Oh, that's not working either, Josh.
That kind of surprised me.
It's a sweet looking little tool.
Yeah.
I was really confident in it, just looking at it.
I'm also curious if this is a trick, because I pounded pretty hard on that window with that blunt force right there.
Oh,
so
I watched you.
If this pops it.
So you just put it against the window.
I can't believe this.
Whoa,
what?
Josh.
What?
Dang, man. That was
what do you think about that, Josh?
So,
that was so fast.
Getting on my lap. So,
and like I said, we'll look at it real quick.
I can definitely.
Oh, oops. Sorry.
It's a sweet looking little tool.
Yeah.
I mean, really how fast he breaks it is amazing.
I'm curious if this does the trick, because I pounded pretty hard on that window with that blunt force right there.
Oh,
so
I watched you.
If this pops it.
So you just put it against the window.
I mean, the second he puts it to the window, it's done.
Dang, man. That was
what do you think about that, Josh?
So, okay, besides the glass getting on my lap.
That's what I would think too, Michelle. Yeah, keep it hammer.
The day after that video,
oh, you got two of those.
The window breaker that we were demonstrating from Adventures with Purpose, and I put it on my wife's keychain. This is my wife's keys, and this is probably, and hopefully she never uses it, but this is going to give me the peace of mind that if she is ever without me, with our baby, this is going to give me the peace of mind that if she's ever without me, with our baby in the back and an accident occurs, I 100% know that she can pop a window and get out. The point of this video is just to say that this tool
I'll get a link,
already
Cindy.
exists. We have already figured out the need for this tool, and I'm just trying to pass this information along that for under $10, putting on your keychain, this can give you the peace of mind that you have what you need to react.
And if you can't get the window down, you'll need a backup, an inexpensive window brake tool.
All right.
Take a look when I gave it a try. You don't have to be strong. Anyone can do it.
My pulse quickens. Always keep a sharp object or window punching tool like the one I'm using in the car.
Wow,
His
so
only
quick.
choice was to take the air offered by diver Don, and Don had his own problems.
So I gotta pause it here for a minute. Let's see. I'm not even sure what the tool is called. Window. Breaker tool. Is that? Oh, there it is. Okay. There's one right there. There's one on Amazon for the Amazon shoppers here. Rescue Me. Oh, that's kind of interesting way how they spell it. Rescue Me. Made in USA. Look at that little thing. So crazy how that is able, whatever it does, 2-in-1. And then it's got a seatbelt cutter, which is huge. That's the other big thing, because a lot of people get caught up in their seatbelt. So it's got a seatbelt cutter as well on the bottom part of it. So I think that's huge. So you got 2-in-1 right there. And what, $10? I mean, this one says it's 32% off, but with Prime, so $11 with free shipping if you got Amazon Prime. I'm sure there's some different kinds here. That's the same one there, but yeah, that says $11. Let's just see if there's any kind of. So there's some more fancy ones there for $20, but so yeah, from $10 to $20, depending on what there's some more prettier looking ones, I guess. That is crazy. This looks just more like a hammer, but glamour safety hammer. I don't think this is exactly. It's got the seatbelt cutter. I don't think this is exactly like the other object. I think this new object here. Glass breaker. Yeah, I'm gonna go back, but I would recommend probably the one that AP. This Rescue Me thing here. That's amazing. That's huge. And I'll put all those links. Yeah, worth the money. Your life. You can't put a price on your life, but yeah, I'll have to put all the links at the end of this video here. That's amazing. Oh, so AP. Oh, they have them on their website. Oh, okay. Oh, wow, for $7. Cool. Yeah, you can't put a price on your life or your family's life for that. But yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting to watch because there's just been a lot of things that, like I said, I was told to hit the middle, to use your elbow. And I remember the biggest one, letting the car fill up, which I think is obviously you're going to be done. The car fills up.
I reached out towards Don Best, who is upside down.
Yeah, her car is
in
still
relation
missing.
To me, and he can't actually get out of his seat. He's at this point looking for a knife, which he's got, to cut his seatbelt.
My safety diver was actually pinned in his seatbelt and had to use a knife to actually cut himself free.
And if the car is upside down and your seatbelt is locking you in.
Okay, so seatbelt.
Let's let him try with his first. So his seatbelt cutter. So let's ask, how much did you pay for your tool?
Okay, so he's using an old tool. Let's see him use the new tool.
Alrighty.
Oh.
Wow.
And even though most of you watching this will never need this tool,
$6, $7,
I would much
whatever,
rather have the
you know, maybe
information
some
and be able to have
some
this
shipping
on
costs.
you and not need it than to be in a
Fits right on the keychain. That's amazing. I mean, it's I think that's pretty huge. It's pretty fascinating too. But I thought I'd show you guys that. I think that's let's work on newer model cars. 357 works great. Yeah, I would assume so. Let's see. They put they put this video on April 2nd, so of this year. So so this is a fairly new video. But pretty fascinating, interesting. Like I said, there's a lot of things that I just remember growing up being told, and the two biggest ones was letting the car fill up so you could open the door, which now we know is I don't know if it's impossible, but unless you're the Hulk, it's not going to be happening. So, but yeah. Yeah, like I said, I will definitely put the link to that at the end of the show for sure, and I'll try to find AWPs, you know. So shout out to them for the footage. Obviously, I do have their link to their channel in the description right now for you guys. So we'll take some phone calls here in about 10-15 minutes. I want to jump over real quick to Dog the Bounty Hunter because there was a few things with him. Steve says, recovered a young man that escaped the car and drowned in 7 feet of water. Could have stood on car and survived. Sad. Young man escaped the car and drowned in 7 feet. Could have stood on the water. Oh, that's terrible. Sorry to hear that, Steve. I'm sure you did everything you could. Yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. So, okay, so switching over to Dog the Bounty Hunter. So it says Dog the Bounty Hunter is reportedly getting tips. So he's already getting tips about the disappearance of the California teen Kiely Rodni, but is wary of joining the search because of the flack he got while trying to find Gabby Petito and this killer boyfriend, Brian Laundrie. My response to that is I think it was I love Dog the Bounty Hunter personally. Obviously I get an emoji of Dog the Bounty Hunter. I grew up watching him. One of my favorite reality shows. I didn't watch much reality, but I did watch Dog the Bounty Hunter. But he did come around at a time that it was kind of like with the Gabby Petito case, it kind of like slowed down. And he was that when he kind of showed up, he was the one that got that tip from Fort DeSoto, and that just kind of like just blew up the case because it was like, oh shit, you know, they were at Fort DeSoto before, you know, what the hell were they doing on this little vacation when Brian Laundrie got back? So I think it was pretty big. I think the problem is that, you know, he showed up at the house, the Laundrie's house. It looked like he was doing that, you know, for kind of press shoots, and I think that got a lot of negative publicity. They felt like he was just trying to do this for his new show he was going to possibly be doing, and so it didn't seem like it was what he was doing was sincere, and he was just trying to, you know, do some publicity stunts. But, you know, he got out there, he was at Fort DeSoto, and he was actually out there searching in Fort DeSoto. So I think if anything, it'd be a good thing that if he comes along and helps. But, you know, so I think so what it says here is, so, however, he is holding back for now, partly because the outrage he generated in the high-profile hunt for Petito and Laundrie. During the search for the couple, he turned at the family's homes. Yeah, so that was the kind of big no-no. With some critics damning it as nothing but a publicity stunt, while others feared it could impede the police investigation. Since then, Dog, the real name Dwayne Chapman, has decided to wait until he gets an invite from either cops or the family itself, or if the case goes beyond 21 days. So what? We are sitting at what, 13, 14 days since she's been missing now. So basically a week to go, but he's already receiving tips, so that's interesting. The other thing is he did kind of, with the newlywed couple, for those that followed that, that happened, the Moab murders, he did eventually show up and was getting tips. And I think he, you know, for the most part, he's got a team that, and some great connections, I should say. So I think it could be a great thing, because he can get maybe some tips that otherwise other people couldn't get. They definitely have a certain system that they have that does seem to work. But yeah, that's great. Yeah, dog wasn't perfect. No one is. That's true. You know, we all have our flaws. But I think dog wants to do the right thing. I just think it's how it's perceived. You know. But I think it would, if anything, you know, it's going to keep the case alive, and hopefully, if he does, he gets some good tips. Let's see. Chris always has a great show. Tonight he will save a life. Great show. I hope, yeah, people go out and buy that. That's awesome, you know, just to help. Like I said, it's just one of the things I've been researching about this case is just how many bodies of water. You know, obviously could be so many scenarios. I mean, you know, sadly, foul play could be a huge part of this. It definitely seems odd that there's been a lot of it seems like not a lot of people are talking. There's all these people that have been at the party, but there's so few videos and photos that are circulating, really. And then the biggest problem I have is you get this party, this end of the summer party, you know, set up, and it only lasts 3 hours. I think is a little weird. You know, was there a second party, or did something happen? One thing that always kind of I think about, you know, hearing about, you know, that there was heavy drugs floating around is the case with Heidi Plank, where she ended up apparently going up to downtown high-rise apartment to a party, and apparently OD'd on fentanyl, of course, fentanyl-laced substance. And apparently the people panicked at the party and threw her down the garbage chute. And there was even a witness saying that, like some floors down, that they opened up the garbage chute and actually saw the body stuck in the chute. You can only imagine what that'd be like. And then they were actually searching, like, within days later, they were actually searching the landfill. So I definitely think that that was, we don't know if that's exactly what happened, but that seems to be the most likely, because that was the last place she was seen, was at that high rise, walking her dog early in the morning. So could this have been a case that if she was already inebriated and then given some kind of other substances, that she might have OD'd and then people panicked and then tried to cover it up? There's tons of scenarios. Obviously trafficking. So let's see, just checking the. So we'll take some cars. I was reading something. We'll take some calls here in just a second. There's just one more thing that I want to go over real quick. Let me close that since we did that. I will save that. So, okay. So there's been a couple of because obviously the person that's been most outspoken since this is the friend Sammy, and I feel like a lot of people feel like there's a lot of red flags with Sammy, and now that I've kind of researched this case more, I do agree that there is some definite red flags. Quickly, let me just show you guys. There have been a couple of new photos that have surfaced with Kiely and her phone, because obviously this is a piece of possible evidence that could be found. So here's another picture of her phone with that sex wax, and I'm not sure what that sticker is there. I'll have to take a better look into it. This is a picture of where she lived at the Lost Trail Creek Lodge, or Lost Trail Lodge, I believe. Beautiful place, absolutely beautiful. And then there is Kiely, actually wearing the hoodie that they're released the other day. Okay, so we already talked about dogs. So let me play this weird thing. We'll play this, and then we'll take some calls. So I don't know if you guys saw this. This is kind of weird. This is some YouTube short that kind of came out. I'm not sure if it was today or last night. So it says, the chance of getting killed by your bestie is low. But never zero. So obviously this had some people like freaking out, like, oh my gosh, like, what does this mean? And is it actually Sammy? Now just taking a couple looks at oh my goodness. Oh wow, Copper Horse, my goodness. Gifted 50 Mob Crew memberships. Oh my gosh, Copper Horse. Thank you so much. That is so awesome. I think just about a lot of people you're going to get memberships. So that's awesome. Thank you so much, Copper Horse. Please show some Copper Horse some love in the chat. That is so awesome. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have some members only content coming out in the next couple days. So yes, that's right. This was, yep. That's one of the first things I noticed. Looking at the date, yeah, it's 4/20. So this was. So I'm not sure how it works. Sometimes it's random, and sometimes you click at the little box at the top. So there should be a little gift box. I'm not sure. Like, Copper Horse, if you could maybe explain. I'm not sure if it's just the first 50 people to click on the present or if it's just random. This is still in beta mode, so just the whole gifted membership. I think the reason why it's either random or whoever's the first 50 people to pick it is because, let's say it's Copper Horse giving out the memberships. If she's the one picking them, then it's like, well, it's kind of like she's picking favorites, and then that would kind of leave people out, and then, that would kind of cause conflict. So I understand why they're kind of doing it this way. I would think they would probably, the best way to do it is to reward the people that are been subs the longest or who are always in the chat. I think that's something that they should try to work into as well. So, but yeah, that's so cool. Thank you so much, Copper Horse. That's amazing. So anyway, yeah, one of the first few things that I noticed when looking at this, and like someone said, is the date. Oops, hold on. Where am I at here? Oh, here we are. So yeah, this is 4/20/2021. So this has been uploaded over a year ago. So you got to keep context. I did notice that she's kind of got a ring on here, but she don't have a bunch of bracelets. she's more of a like dark blonde, dirty blonde, I guess you'd call it. And then there's just a couple of things that I kind of matched up. But the ring does match up, but the bracelets, I mean, clearly she's wearing heavy bracelets. The other thing is it looks like she's got either some kind of freckle or mole. Sammy does. This girl, now, of course, makeup could cover that. The other thing is she's got quite, to me, it looks like blue eyes. This seems like much darker brown eyes. It's really kind of hard to tell. And then this is the other thing, Karen Lee, that I kind of figured notice as well. Because there's been some talk that Sammy is actually older than she really is. And here is actually the graduation of 2012, of this year, June 11th, and you'll recognize this name here.
Samantha Irene Smith.
So I don't know, is her middle name Irene? But I will say this, I was just doing a little bit of research, and so literally the most common last name is Smith. So as the number one most common last name is Smith. And then when it comes to female names, Samantha is within the top 200. It's ranked 177 out of how many, who knows how many names now. So that's pretty high. You've got the number one last name, the top 200 first name. So there's got to be so many Samantha Smiths out there that because I've heard some people doing some background checks on Samantha Smith, and they keep getting like this 22-year-old in another age, and something tells me that it's just probably a different Samantha Smith, just because there's so many obviously with the number one surname and then Samantha. So I think that's just a coincidence, in my opinion. So I don't think this video is Samantha, in my opinion. Plus, I think the whole context is irrelevant because it is. Let's play that one more time real quick. It is a little creepy, but with the context that this is posted on 420 of last year, even if this was Sammy, how would she know that this was going to happen a year later? But I don't think it's her. I've been doing a little research, and I found a Sammy Smith on TikTok that looks pretty close to her. But I'm still doing some research. It's kind of interesting. She does have one ring that I actually do kind of look alike, but she doesn't wear the heavy bracelets. She doesn't have the nose ring. She doesn't have the mole or freckle, whatever that is. Oh, does she have a scar on her neck? Oh, that's something else I'd have to look at. But really, I think this is irrelevant. I mean, the big thing is it was like, oh, you killed your bestie. But when you look at the date, I mean, once you look at that, it's really going to be irrelevant. It's clearly nothing to do with what's going on. But kind of weird. So, and then obviously I heard Sammy Smith went to charter school, from what I heard. I don't know if that's fact or not. So yeah, should we take some phone calls? I know there's some people that are out in that general direction. If they'd like to call in, anybody can call in. We'll try to keep it short in the beginning, just in case there's a lot of callers. But let's see. Okay, the phone line is open now. And just once again, thank you so much, mods, for everything you guys do. You guys are so amazing. And thank you so much, Copper Horse. That helps out so much. And I just want to shout out to Raina, who donated PayPal the other day. That helps out the channel so much. I'm going to put up... Okay, so the number's up, 435-612-0277. Take a minute for someone to call in. But yes, the phone line is open. Looks like people are still getting gifted memberships. Perfect timing, because I was thinking for the membership... something to do with the memberships. I was going to do a day in the life. I thought that'd be kind of fun. So we're going to definitely do that. Kiely was homeschooled. Interesting. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I thought we'd just kind of go over some things that were sent to me that they thought it could be Sammy, but it doesn't look like it.
Call from Bonnie to accept.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Not too bad. You?
Good, thank you. So what do you think about the case?
It's confusing, but I have a feeling the kids are in on it.
Do ya?
I just have that awful feeling.
Yeah, it's kind of late getting into this case, but now that after kind of rewatching some interviews with Sammy, and I'm not just saying it's just Sammy, but it just seems like if there's 200 to 300 people at the party and there's not a lot of photos, videos, and then a party only lasts 3 hours, something seems fishy.
Yeah, something's up.
Uh-huh.
Well, what I called in for, too, as some of the people in the chat were saying I should call in, I went underwater in my car.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it was very, very scary.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. I went down a road that was closed. Stupid me. It was flooded, and I didn't realize it was flooded as bad as it was.
Oh,
and
wow.
I threw my car in reverse, but it wouldn't let me. The current was too strong.
Oh, so you were kind of like...
in sideways off the road. And years earlier, I had dreamt something like this, and I asked my husband at the time, what do I do? And he told me, let it fill up, and you've got to roll down the window and get out that way.
Yes.
So I hopped over in the passenger seat, and I took my jacket off, and I put my purse around my neck, and I thought, no, that's stupid. What if I get caught in one of the handles? So I threw it over to the driver's side, and then sat there as it filled up over my head, and then I could roll down the window. And that's how I got out, but then my car sunk after I got on the roof, and I had to swim about a football length and a half.
Oh,
and
my goodness.
when they found me, I was dead.
That is crazy. So, so you got out through your window? I'm sorry, I was kind of doing
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the passenger side window.
Wow. So did you have roll-up windows or electronic windows?
They were electronic.
Oh, wow. So were they so you were able to kind of, sounds like you were kind of like getting submerged kind of slowly. You were kind of maybe, it wasn't.
Yeah. The scary part was sitting there waiting for the car to fill up.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to ask you, so did you roll down the window before it was submerged or after?
After.
Oh, and they worked?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I waited till it just got above the window. I held my breath, and then I could roll it down. I don't know if I was just lucky that it worked.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
That is crazy. And then you had to swim a football field. That's amazing. I'm so glad you.
And
you
I kept giving up because I got so tired, and I just couldn't drown. But then it was January 6th when it happened, and I just got to one spot, and I was hanging on to trees, and the last thing I remember, I saw a light in my face, and that's all I remember. But I can remember them talking when they put me in the back of somebody's car. I could hear them say, "Don't rub her feet too hard because you could take the skin off." And then they were saying, "I can't get a pulse, I can't get a pulse." And I was trying to wake up to tell them I'm not dead.
Oh my gosh, you poor thing.
I was very lucky. They rushed me into town, which was a ways away, and the doctor in the emergency room made a slit under my belly button, and they put warm water through your body to warm up your organs.
Yes, because it's January. That water, I'm assuming, was super cold.
Yeah, that's what they figured I was dead from hypothermia.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Do you know, was it like a lake or a reservoir?
No, it was farm property, kind of. Like there was a creek that ran through that. Well, not a creek, a river that ran through there, and it had melted. It was very, very mild. I was lucky, and it had rained so much it flooded, and that happened there quite often. And I had driven through there before. It was a shortcut to get to town, and I did it.
That's amazing. Amazing story. So how long ago was this? I can't remember. Did you say?
In 91.
91. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, and I had 3 little children. Not in the car, thank God.
Yes. So it's just you, and you were able to get out. But
yeah.
You, so hypothermia, obviously, you succumbed to that, obviously, but you were able to get revived through them pumping hot water into your body?
Yeah, they just pump it through there, I guess, to warm up all your organs.
Wow.
And it was about, it was quite a while later when I woke up. And then, of course, then you get the shivers really bad, but they don't want you to have the insulating blanket on you any longer. They want you to shiver. Oh, I didn't think I'd ever get warm again.
Oh, my goodness. Do you, I'm sorry to ask, do you suffer from any kind of PTSD? I mean, from, like...
Yeah.
Do you?
Sometimes I wake up swimming.
Oh, gosh. And just like, how about dry... Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, not as bad as it used to be, but it was... I couldn't sleep for I don't know how long.
Wow.
I had an angel on my shoulder that night.
What an amazing story. That is crazy. And I'm so happy that you survived that. That's an amazing story. I can't imagine.
Yeah, it wasn't my time.
Yeah. Sounds like you're a fighter. That's amazing. Yeah, anything else? I'd love to ask you 100 questions, but I know there's other people calling, but oh my gosh.
Well, if you want to ask anything, go ahead.
No, but what do you feel as far as the case? I mean, do you feel like this is foul play, or you thought that the kids might not be telling the truth? Is that?
Yeah, I have a feeling that she OD'd on something. When they were sitting in the car. I have a funny feeling that she might have had a bad hit of something.
Yeah, it sounds like there was...
And she died, and they didn't know what to do with her.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to say, but I don't want to think that.
Yeah, of course.
They would try to get her help.
For sure. Yeah. I like I said, I just before he called, the Heidi Plank story. I don't know if you followed that, but unfortunately, she went to a party and unfortunately took something, I believe, fentanyl laced. This hasn't been confirmed as fact, but I think this is. I mean, she was last seen there, so I think this is most likely what happened to some degree.
Yeah, and it just seems fishy between Jag and. I don't know if Katie's involved, but I think she knows. And I think Sammy for sure.
Yeah.
And I think maybe Mags, but I'm not too sure about her either. But
yeah.
I think she would have found out later if it, I think they all stuck together and figured out how to get the car out of there and her out of there somewhere.
Yeah, I think the point to this case is always have a buddy system. I think always have a buddy system.
And it bothered me that Sammy wasn't very upset that she left her there. Like, I would have been bawling my eyes out if I left my friend there and then she was missing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of get that feeling too. Well, oh my gosh, Bonnie, is that right?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Oh my gosh, you're such a sweetheart and such a warrior. Everybody's saying you're such a warrior, amazing woman. Everybody's saying thank you for sharing this story. That's an amazing story. Honored to share that on the show.
I wasn't sure if I could call in or not, but I made it through the story.
You did. I'm so proud of you, and thank you so much for sharing that. And
okay,
love to hear from you again when we do.
Another time with a different story of what I've done.
Oh boy, yeah. Love to hear it.
Okay, I'll let others call in. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, sweetheart.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, wow. What an amazing woman. Let's see, make sure. Okay, quickly, just for someone else. Thank you, Tom, and for the $10. I think most people believe that they could easily exit a submerged vehicle until they are in that situation. I think all cars should have a manual option for windows, like a manual override. Yeah, something to that degree, or at least, yeah, something. Yeah, I agree. That's why we'll definitely get that little tool. I missed a couple of memberships. I'm going to try. Jennifer, thank you so much for the $1.99. Teens don't take and post party pics. 3 hours is 3 hours is norm. I feel like I don't know. Maybe mines were different. We did kind of all-nighters. Yeah, but as far as parties and pics, this is completely out of my. Because we didn't have phones back then like that. And social media. Something you prove. Member for 2 months. Thank you for all you do. Thank you so much. You're awesome. And I think there's one more. Karen Jett, thank you so much for becoming a member. It helps support this channel. And like I said, we try to get back to the missing as much as we can. And now that I got a vehicle, I would love to maybe... once everything kind of lines up, maybe we'll go out. Aiden Kluin's been on my list. I would at least like to take one attempt at trying to help look for him. But I got to kind of see how Nick has been really busy right now. So, on your story, no, they revived her minutes after I left. I found out a week later. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's just, yeah, we partied until the sun came up. We don't have phones. Yeah, that's how I remembered my parties. I mean, I wasn't a big partier, but the ones that I did go to. No problem. Excited to be here. Love this channel and all you do. Okay, so phone lines open if you guys want to call in. There's Elise. Thank you so much for the $1.49 heart sticker. You're so awesome. Yep, I got me a car. Yeah, so like I said, for the members, I'm going to do a day in the life, and then I'll kind of show my car. I didn't want to, as I said, it's not that fancy. It's a Toyota RAV4 2012. It's a used car, but it's got a 2-year warranty, which is great. I think this is my first car I've ever had that's got a warranty on it. So I've never been in that position. So it's kind of cool to have some kind of peace of mind knowing that I got a vehicle that's going to get me to where I need to go. So, all right, phone line's up, but guys, let's see, what time is it? Oh my gosh, it's already been an hour and a half. Yeah, I'd love to take a few more calls if anybody wants to call in real quick. While we're waiting, we'll jump over to Dylan Rounds real quick until somebody calls. So there has been a few things. They did release this new flyer, which we'll go over here in just a second. I feel like this case is in some type of a teenage jealousy issue over a boyfriend. Sammy knows something. I see a lot of holes in her recollection of what happened. Maybe she was too high to remember. I think it's definitely a mix for sure. If she was drinking, I'm sure the part of the holes in her story could just be from she can't remember, but there is definitely some inconsistencies. Now that I've been kind of diving deeper into this case, Sammy is weird with all her lies. Yeah, it's there are some red flags for sure. Oh, you got a 2016. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, this is my first Toyota, and everybody told me because my last car was a lemon, so bought it for $3,000, put another $5,000-$6,000 into it, and it got me nowhere. I'm hoping I can fix it up and send it to a friend who has no car. So real quick, so this is Dylan Rounds. So it says, "Attention hunters, please be on the lookout. Watch out for anything suspicious that could help locate or solve the criminal disappearance of Dylan Rounds from Lucin, Utah." And then it just kind of goes into the date he was last seen, foul play is suspected, and a suspect is in custody on unrelated charges. I think that's interesting that they put that in there. Dylan is 20 years old, 5'10", 160 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. Most likely had jeans, flannel shirt, no boots. So what's interesting about this is where he went missing. It's not really, at least in Lucin, that's not a hunting area. But northeast, there's, as a matter of fact, where we went, there's some hunting areas. So, oh gosh, quickly catch it.
Call from Shannon.
Oh, hey,
to accept,
Shannon.
press 1.
Shannon!
Hey, Chris, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. I figured nobody's calling in. I'll call in. For a few
Yes,
minutes.
love
I
to
just
hear from you.
finished doing a couple things. Yeah, I'm glad you were covering it. I sadly covered that other case and did it last night and woke up to that horrible news. So that was a bummer. More than a bummer, but for the family, but
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you're talking about the couple that were found.
yeah, the friends.
Yeah.
That's horrible. And I felt really bad for the family because they weren't getting a lot of support, and that's common though, as we all know, unfortunately. And it seems to be one of those things. I think that sometimes some of these cases get more support than others. I don't know how that works with LE, but it's weird.
It is weird, and yeah, for obviously you got your YouTube channel, True Crime with Shannon. Shout out to her. And yes, when you start diving into these cases, you do realize that there are going to be these cases that all of a sudden garner mass attention, and these other cases that you're like, wow, what happened here?
Yeah, I don't think we can really understand it. It's like, and that's why I say the same thing you're saying. I tell them, like, you let me know if I can help out. I want to help out, but we can't cover them all. There's just not enough hours in the day. It's just way too many. It's sad.
Yeah, that's so one of the things that I try to do that's kind of unique to my channel, since we can't cover them all, is I always try to attach, and I think you probably kind of get the gist of this now too, and I know a lot of my followers that have been with me for a while. The reasons why I attach like Kaylee Jones to obviously Kiely Rodni is because obviously Kiely Rodni is a big case. Even though Kiely Jones, it's a very fascinating case, and it should have just as much attention as the Rodney case, 2 16-year-old girls that went missing. So yeah, that's why I always kind of attach these cases that unfortunately don't have enough attention to these bigger cases. That way, it's kind of like a win-win. That's always kind of been my purpose on this channel.
That's a good way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the idea off you and all them. Like I know Grisella does it too, where she puts missing posters, and I'm doing that because I'm like, hey, I gotta try to give back. That's the point. That's what we all need to do. We all need to put a couple out there. So.
Yeah.
But as far as this case goes, it's super weird.
Yeah.
And,
what's your thoughts on it?
I'm trying to stay like you. I don't try to go too crazy, and you try to speculate, but. I was first going, I don't know, did Sammy do something? And then I go, you know what? I just think she likes attention because I think she's one of those. I think she's got the narcissistic personality, which, some people have.
Yeah.
And I think that the likeliness of happening is either she overdosed and they all got scared and did something to cover it up. We have no idea who was involved. That'll come out later if that's the case. Or she drove home and she's like, sadly, this couple that they just found, 10 days later. So, I mean, and it's because they couldn't even, they didn't see the car. I mean, I'm surprised, thank gosh somebody found it. It's like, I guess that area, see, I'm in Florida. We don't have those kind of curved, ravine type places. And I'm like, that's scary to be driving those kind of roads. And then the next thing you know, you could hit that road and maybe an animal pops out. Maybe they were veering from an animal.
Yep.
Who knows?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it was either it has to do with the drugs and alcohol or it was an accident. That's what I'm leaning toward now. I went through a few thoughts and I'm like, that's what I think. I think all these kids, I think they're just acting like teens and kids, young people. I think sadly that's what they're doing. And, the cops are going to, get what they can out of them. And I'm sure they're pushing however they can. To get what they need, but they're not being helpful. We all know adults are not always helpful either. So, but these kids were definitely partying and they were doing their thing and, and it's like they, and they all, I think they're, even though they tell them they're not going to get in trouble, I think they're still afraid.
Yeah.
Whether they know much or not. I think they're just too scared that someone's going to find out, but yeah, Sammy, the way she came out up front, I think she just rubbed a lot of us the wrong way. Just the way she approaches it, if nothing else. It's just like she's 18 years old and she acts like she's in charge. I think that was what threw me off. I'm like, dude, you're so young. It's like, you could help out. I mean, that's awesome, but you're not, she's 18 years old. These guys are kids. They just graduated from high school. But see, you graduate high school, you think you know it all. I remember thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
You think you're so smart. You don't know anything yet. There's so much to learn. But, I don't know. Maybe she means well. I mean, it's the same thing. I try to now go, I don't want to put her out there in a bad way. But, she definitely comes off, and I'm glad that either her family or somebody told her to kind of just stop talking. And I think that, she stopped talking. And I think that, fortunately, they didn't get her to stop talking right at the beginning. Because she went on, off with that other YouTuber. And that was a real suspicious conversation, but that just could be the way she talks. I don't know.
Yeah. So, yeah, which one was that, the other YouTuber?
It was like Adventure Dream. That it was like
All American Dream Chaser?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's still a newer channel, they said. I'm sure that they've got quite the following now.
Tony Judge. I used to, I know him. I used to call him once in a while. Fortunately, then I changed my number. But yeah, I've actually had him on the show before. We were gonna go out and do something together with the newlywed couple, and then it got solved. Yeah, he's a great guy.
He seems like he's a good guy. He does seem like a good guy.
He is.
And he was just trying to be, be, very open and just get what he could get out of her. And but obviously all that stuff went, right to the investigation. So, and, being that her mom's a lawyer and her dad's a PI, I'm like, well, I guess they finally got her to keep quiet. It's like, I just would tell her it's a middle investigation. I don't know if you want to be talking too much. It's just, you have to be careful about that stuff, because, and then, people talk, and I'm sure she knows people on social media are talking. She may be following some of this stuff. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I went back and said, I don't know. I don't necessarily think she had anything to do with it. Do I think that she acted, in a, she should have helped her, should have helped Kiely more? Oh, of course. I think they all should have.
Yeah.
I don't think they were very responsible with their friend, regardless of how good of friends they are. I think that's not how you treat somebody that you care about.
I think,
but, other than that, yeah.
No.
That's kind of like the bottom line that's on with at this point, until we know more.
Yeah.
So, but I'm highly just impressed with how Placer County gives us those updates on the daily, and
it's something
I think
different.
That they're definitely I think that they're great. They're working with the social media, and I think, Steve was just saying, the other night, I don't know if you heard his show, that this is the wave of the future.
This could be.
Us,
I agree. This is, it's a little more transparency with the search. I think that would have been huge. I think that would have been great for Dylan Rounds. I get some reasons why they don't want to show where they've searched, because then they're afraid that somebody would go back and move a body. So I get there's some kind of things that are kind of need to kind of be, hush hush, but overall the transparency and then replying to comments in Twitter and stuff, it's amazing. It could be a good thing.
Yeah, I think that a lot of departments should, instead of, because we've had a few obviously attack, the people on Twitter and YouTube and all that, saying that we're all getting in the way, and like everybody, there's always a few, but it's like, I think that the greater good comes out, because we sadly have a lot of work to do on like these Amber Alerts and all these other things, and I think that being on social media, you can get out the word so much faster. It's, you can just get it right down the line, and, it's like a chain effect.
Yeah.
You can just have share. All you got to do is hit that share button, and, the right person may see it. That's all it takes.
That's exactly.
It's like, that's it. And I think, you don't have to have your own channel. You just have to be on Twitter. You have to be on Facebook, Instagram, whatever.
Yeah.
I think that social media is, like you said, anything is going to be, some people are going to, be a problem with it, but I think they're going to get more goodness out of it than not. I think sharing that stuff, but they do need to keep stuff close to the vest. I agree. There's certain things that they got to keep.
Yeah, will always. Yeah.
Because, that always should be the way, because you don't want to ruin an investigation.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. You don't want to be a defense attorney's best friend. So,
yeah, we're all nosy, but there's certain things we shouldn't be told.
Yeah. Okay, I got another.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. Yeah, I'll let you go. But hey, I'm glad you're covering this case, because I've been liking Dylan Rounds, but I'm like, man, it's like I've been trying to jump around, and it's so hard because there's just so many things going on, and I really would love them to find him soon, though.
Yeah.
And Aiden and everybody. So hopefully we'll get some more resolution on some of these cases soon. That'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, well, have a good one.
All right, you too, so much, and we'll try to have you on the show, like side by side panel.
Yeah,
here.
we'll have a chat soon. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yep.
Okay, talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks, Shannon. Okay, 984. I know you've been trying to call. If you want to try calling in, let me quickly, hopefully I can get these shout outs in real quick. Gregory, thank you so much for being a member for 5 months. What's the number to call in? I just posted it. I think that might be you calling. Tom Man, thank you so much for the $5. If this was an accident, I think the car would have already been found. The Honda CR-V has a Find My Car tracker built into it. So I've been looking into that. I think you've got to set something up. I don't know. It's something I'm still doing some research, but I think I'm still doing some research on that. I think that you have to kind of set that up, but yeah, it's definitely, either way, the car, it's amazing that this car hasn't been found. Okay, 984, if you want to try calling in again. I think we'll take one or two more calls real quick, and then I think we'll try to wrap it up here soon, so it's not too long. And thank you, everybody, for all the support. And, I'm going to try to reach out to a couple of people, maybe to have a special guest on tomorrow. But I don't want to say too much because I don't know. Just waiting to see if this guy will call back in. Let's try calling him.
Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
It's going good. Hang on, let me mute you.
Oh, okay. No problem, buddy.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, this is Greg Sterner. I see you got my my forwarding of Gisela's excellent work on this case.
Oh, yeah.
And where she has a guy there, Steve. I don't know his last name, but he had some great drone footage. That area is so beautiful. But he kind of drove around today. The same guy did.
Oh,
and, you know, like everyone's thinking about, beautiful. But everyone's thinking about maybe she went off the road.
Yeah.
She would have really had to been out of her, you know, not able to drive well to do that, because it's not that easy for her. It's not, you know, and there would be evidence. I'm kind of bouncing around, but there'd be evidence that people were saying about, like, what if the vehicle's in the water? And this guy scanned one reservoir a lot with his drone footage I seen today. And, yeah, very. But the point is, it was those, the AWP guys were saying, well, there'd be like the gasoline or oil from that vehicle would be at the surface. Even if you can't see the vehicle, you would see evidence that it's in the water, you know?
Oh,
and
that
supposedly
makes sense.
they didn't find any of that. So that's what's making me wonder, is it more, is it a cover-up? Is it that they're hiding her vehicle, you know, to cover up another, like what everyone's speculating, that could be something went down bad and they're trying to cover it all.
Yeah.
The main reason why I wanted to call,
sure.
I'm thinking with dogs coming onto the scene, maybe these kids will be more willing to talk to dogs, and the truth will finally surface out of all this.
I think
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, I was just going to say, I definitely don't think it wouldn't hurt. And it just always seems, just from my research from between the Brian Laundrie case and the newlywed couple, it seems like the second they mention their name attached to a case, it seems like the next day they say, oh, they got like over 100, 200 tips.
Exactly. If he's getting tips already, you know, I'm hoping he's trying to, you know, I don't know if he's trying to maybe funnel some of those to the law enforcement. That's kind of the way I'm thinking. I feel the law enforcement is doing a good job, and also they're not letting on to a lot of the information I think they have. We're going to find out a lot more that they know, and that's probably why they changed the means of what they're, the way they're doing the investigation now. I think they're following up more on the leads that they have, or hoping, because the AWP guys are coming out tomorrow or whatever it is, and they're specialists in studying, finding things in the water. So maybe that's they're suspicious. Law enforcement think there is something in the water somewhere. Maybe, I don't know. You know, I'm guessing, like everyone else is on this. Definitely scratch your head on this case. Yeah, you know, and I hope the more it goes on, the worse I'm feeling about it. I hate to say it, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry to say, I think this poor girl fell in some bad situations, you know. I hope not, you
Yeah.
know, but you never know. Yeah, it just doesn't look very good. Because, yeah, that other couple that was missing the same amount of time, they found their car.
Yep.
See, they should have found her car by now. That's what I'm thinking. Is it being hidden in some way? You know, I don't know. You know,
Yeah.
makes you wonder at least. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is it sitting in a garage somewhere?
Bingo. That's what I'm wondering. Someone's covering it up. You know, it makes you wonder at least. Yeah. Maybe eventually the truth will come to the surface. But yeah. Great show, guy. Hang in there. You're doing a great job.
Thank you, buddy.
I got some of your merch coming too. I got a coffee cup coming, so I'll be happy about that.
Oh, that's awesome. You'll have to email me a photo. That's awesome. I'm trying to get like a kind of a collage going so I can show.
I hear you. I hear you. You take it easy, Chris.
Thank you so much, buddy. Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye. You too.
Okay, that was Gregory. Amazing supporter. And of course, amazing supporter of Gizla from Grizzly True Crime, who is just an amazing role model for YouTube, who's been covering this case. And so I'm just playing just some of the drone footage he uploaded on Twitter. This is the Prosser Family Campground. Amazing drone footage this guy captured. Quite amazing. Actually, I haven't seen, I just seen parts of it, but and quickly, let me get to Tom here, buddy. Thank you so much, as always, Tom, for the $10. YouTube will be the platform of the now and future. News nations have been fattening the truth for years to make stories more desirable. That's true. I feel people have to make their own judgment and truth. Yeah, with YouTube, what's nice is you get to come together with the community, and you guys can kind of chat, and you know, and what's nice about the community we have here, we're drama-free. We would like you to share your opinion. Just be respectful of other people's opinions, and you know we get along great. Everybody's entitled to their opinions, and not everybody's going to agree. That's just how life is. But you know that's what makes us so unique. Is we look at things in different perspectives. So just checking the chat real quick. All right, we'll take one more call because it's kind of getting late, but we'll do one more call here.
Call from Elizabeth. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good. So how's it going?
I'm good. It's going good. I'm from Florida. I'm loving loops on here on your live. I just was calling because I had mentioned something earlier and someone responded to me. I had heard that Mag's mother was there that night of that party.
Max?
Have you heard that?
I have not. Mag's mother.
And Mag's mother and Kiely's mom are like best friends.
Okay, now that would kind of make sense because apparently Mags and Kiely went to the party together, so it seems like they've got and then didn't Mags and them have creme brulee earlier? So that kind of makes sense.
No, it was that Kate girl who did.
Oh, that's right, Kate Kuno. Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, yep, no, you're right. Interesting though. So they're kind of close, is what you're saying.
Right, but I don't ever hear anybody talking about Mag's mom being out there at that party. But I know I heard it on another channel.
Interesting. Mag's mom. Yeah, I'll have to look for it.
And I know someone else on here heard it as well.
Yeah, I'm looking in the chat. Very interesting. I have not heard of that. Some say yes, and some say they haven't heard. So yeah, it sounds like some have. Sounds like they've heard that. Yeah. Do you have? So what's your thoughts? Do you have any theories or what?
I think it's foul play. I don't know. I just have that bad feeling.
Yeah.
You know, she was 16. She was the younger one. She was smarter. She graduated with the older kids. Maybe some resentment there. I don't know. It just sounds like a Mean Girls thing.
Oh, I hope not. But yeah,
It reminds me of, I think it was a Netflix show or something, and this is horrible to say. It's where the girl kidnapped one of the girls and locked her in a house.
Oh, sounds familiar. I don't know if I saw it, but
Oh my gosh, I can't remember what the name of it was. Foul play type thing, you know.
Sure.
And it just is. It to me, it just sounds. It sounds fishy.
Sure. Yeah.
And especially now that Sammy isn't talking so much.
Mm-hmm.
She just, she's
Okay, so for
very
those who
careful with what she
Oh,
says.
sorry.
I'm sure she's been coached.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I don't know if that's just because she's getting a lot of backlash, and the parents are like kind of apparently have a PI company or something like that. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I could
and
see
then
where they're
I
kind of
think
like,
the mom is a bankruptcy attorney or something.
yeah.
But the mom, and everybody talks about the mom hugging her. That could just be for her to keep talking. Who knows? You never know. The mom went along with the story about the sweatshirt before it came out that she really had the other sweatshirt on.
Oh,
The mom had to have known she had the white sweatshirt on.
Oh, the Odd Future one, the white one.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
She had to have known that from the start. She went along with the story that about the Luna Del Rey
Yeah.
sweatshirt in the beginning.
Car show. Huh. Yeah, it sounds like I've got to do a little deep dive into that. I see someone saying Mag's mom was at the car show. Huh. Yeah, I'll have to look into her a little bit more.
Maybe that's what it was, but I heard that she was at the party, so that's why I was. I mean,
yeah.
It's hearsay. It's what I heard on another channel.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, it might have been misconstrued. They might have heard it wrong too. Whoever it was that said it, I don't even remember what channel it was on.
Yeah.
But I'm not the only one that heard it.
Yeah, no, I will have to look into that. And I get it. Stuff does get misconstrued all the time. But be interesting if she was at the party. But yeah, I will definitely look into that for sure. But yeah, such a strange case. And any final thoughts?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I just hope that they can find her and at least give the family some peace of mind, some closure. It's horrible. I mean, I get goosebumps just thinking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even related or anything. It's just, I stay awake thinking about the case. It's so crazy.
Yeah, I think any day that...
I'm so far away. I'm half a country away from them.
Oh, are you?
I think about I look at y'all's maps and everything and think about I look at your drone and I'll be like, oh, do I see something?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I just want the family to have closure.
Sure.
It to not be dragged out and be a cold case. So hopefully they get some closure soon.
Yeah, I agree. Well, thank you so much for calling in. Sorry to be kind of short. I'm going to try to wrap up the show, but thank you so much for watching and calling. You're so awesome.
All right.
And have a great evening.
Well, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Yes, and thank you to Copper Horse for all of the
Yes, that was.
memberships.
Thank you. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
was. Uh-huh.
All right,
Okay.
everyone, have a great night.
You too, sweetie.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.
Okay, we'll take one more call. Holly, you said you wanted to call in. Again, we'll try to make it short. Happy birthday, Miranda. That's awesome. Happy to have you here. Okay, yep, one more call and then,
Call from
Holly.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hi, Holly. Hello?
Call from
Holly.
To accept, press 1.
Oh, that was weird. Oh, that was weird. Try calling her. I didn't go through for some reason. Sometimes they short out.
Here.
Holly?
Yes, how are you?
Good.
That was weird. I was like, oh, I'm trying to call back.
Yeah, sorry. Must have dropped your call there. How are you?
No, that's okay. I am well. How about yourself?
Good. So, what do you think about the case?
I think that there's some sketchy stuff going on and possibly some bad drugs, but I think that might be why there wasn't so many beer cans around, because usually people aren't drinking if they're on that kind of rave party stuff, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But one of the things water for sure. But one of the things I noticed in his drone flyover footage was right where that one set of tire tracks, you know, that looked like they might have backed up there, and the footprints came out and looked like they went around an open door to the back. And then right there in that same area was that water jug looking thing that was floating. And I just caught it in the very bottom portion of the video frame, and it looked like legs in there.
It looked like what was in there?
Legs.
Oh, legs.
It could be. It could just be. I don't think it was the clouds, because I know the cloud coverage was real bad and reflecting right there.
Oh, okay.
But it kind of looked like, what I first saw was what looked like a shoe, you know, on some, like a kind of more jeans color, you know, look in the water. But the other thing that I noticed is when they were all standing there in that group photo, that, you know, kind of the whole line of the kids.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you got.
Yep.
I came in late, but they were all looking at something. So something was
Yes.
going down. It looked like a couple of them were running up to it. So, and then that redheaded guy looked like he was encouraging it, like, you know, that bit of the video. It literally looked like, you know, if somebody had said fight and everybody comes rushing to it. So definitely something was going on right there. And, you know, of course, it wasn't really visible, but yeah, that bit in the water where that jug was floating, I'm like, nuh-uh. But it was kind of hard to see, you know, when you pixelate and all that stuff on a smaller screen. So I wasn't sure if you felt like looking through it later when you can.
Yeah, because I was kind of half writing some notes down while that was playing. I'll definitely have to look at that. I know I have that party. That's so weird. Oh, I know where it's at. But yeah, go continue. I'm going to pull up that. So here it is. It's going to take a minute for you to see it. Yeah, so it's kind of a.
Right.
But
yeah, and I wasn't sure if that's why the jug was hanging there. Like maybe they tossed her there real quick and then came back. I can't imagine. I mean, I must just be like, you know, seeing something that's probably something else. But there was some things in the water there, and one looked like kind of a square blackish kind of thing. But yeah, see how they're all running to that corner and looking in the corner, even the plaid shirt guys. But the guy in the blue shirt's running up, and then, you know, something's going on in that corner. And then later in that video, they show what looks like them, you know, encouraging something going on. That redheaded guy. And I think that might have been the guy, the skinny one that had on the white Vans shirt in the day that Sammy was doing her interviews or whatever you want to call it.
Oh, Huh. I'll have to look back into that bands. Oh, interesting. Yeah.
I just wanted to hear that.
Yeah. No, that's a good catch. I'll have to. I wrote down that. Look back at the one video and then.
But you know what I'm talking about? It looks like the white jugs in the water, and it kind of looked like, you know, somebody would, you know, mark a trap or something down in the water. You know, they would leave a jug there. It looked like a couple cans, beer cans or something laying around too, but. Yeah, I just noticed what the footprints were doing. It looked like they got out of the car, walked around a door, went to the back, and then looked like they kind of walked over towards the water. So there's definitely a few things in the water there, a couple of white-looking things that could be just trash. But right where that jug was, and in the video, south of it, just south of the jug. So basically, the jug would maybe be like on a line, and the person's further back. But
Yeah.
I hope that's not what it is. But it kind of did look like it, so I wanted you to take a look at it.
Yeah, I will have to after the show pull that up. Yeah, because I love to look at those small details because it's amazing what you kind of overlook the first time. It's just the same thing with Dylan Round's case. I did the same thing and go back and look, and it's amazing just the small little details that you tend to overlook the first time. So.
Yeah, it's those things that stand out to me so bad, especially. Oh, and the other thing I had noticed that, it's not related to this necessarily, but in that Delphi case, somebody had driven, thanks to the drone footage, I saw somebody driven across the field, and I'm like, that's not how anybody drives across a plowed field. That's, like, I don't know if you've ever done it, but it is not, you will bounce your head into your ceiling. That is how bad it is. So for somebody to do that, it's not a farmer,
Yeah.
So stuff like that, if you can see from the drone footage, you get a better perspective because they wouldn't have been able to see that from the ground. So it's the same in this instance.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yep. But all right, Chris, well, I'll let you get back to it, and I appreciate what you're doing.
Oh, thank you so much, Holly. It's an honor to have you on here. You've been with me, I know, for a long time. Long time. So it's an honor. So
you're welcome.
Thank you so
I'm just
much.
glad you and all my other friends are getting together. It's like, with Grizzly and stuff, I was there in the beginning of her, and I think I was the first one to mention her to you, and then you guys took it from there. But I do remember back in the day.
You did, actually. That's funny. You did mention that. That was way before I wasn't doing live shows. So, Gizla took one route. I took another route. I was just doing regular uploads, and she was doing live shows. But now...
Right.
It's pretty cool how we've kind of come full circle. So, well, thank you so much, Holly, for calling in. I think I'm going to end the show before it gets too late, dear.
Right. Yeah, but enjoy yourself this afternoon, and let me know if you find anything on that or if I'm just seeing things. But yeah, I figure maybe on a computer with some better, magnification. The other thing too is, I know everybody forgets about, but a good old-fashioned magnifying glass.
Yeah.
So you don't have to stand it to pixelate. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah.
But,
it's true. Yeah.
All right. Well, I should go. Enjoy the rest.
All right. Thank you so much, Holly. Have a good night.
You're welcome, Chris. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so we're going to close the phone lines there, and let me just, before we end the show here, make sure I didn't miss, let me check my phone real quick, if there's anything that came in. Jennifer has always got me. So let's finish this poll, because I always forget to end these polls here. So I asked everybody, do we think dog would help? And looks like 60% you said yes, 24% said no, 15% not sure. We had over 1,000 votes. Wow. It's a lot of votes. And okay. Check in here. Sometimes I miss. If I do miss anything, I will catch it in the next show. But thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are so amazing. Yeah, some great content. We had some great calls. I'm gonna put the link to the window crack thing. I think that's huge. I mean, that will definitely. Save some lives. I'm gonna order me one. Maybe we can do something on the show. Send some out or something. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe I can order some. So, and always, if you're new to the channel, we do an outro where we show our viewers' pets. You don't have to be a member or anything. So if you're new to the channel and you haven't sent me in a picture of your pet, you can send it in with the pictures, the pet's name. That always helps me. And I will work in getting. So far, we got 4 outros with 4. Each video usually has 20 to 30 pets, so it's pretty cool. So we love that. thank you, Chris, for the closed caption. It's my honor. So glad. I wish I could have done it sooner. So thank you guys so much. We'll do another call-in. I might do a call-in tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. I'll be live tomorrow. Probably talking about this case and Dylan Rounds, because there's somebody I'm going to be talking to about Dylan Rounds tonight or tomorrow. So, of course, thank you, mods. You're so amazing. And I would just wish I could shout everybody out, but it would take forever. So thank you guys so much. All right, so we're going to play the outro. I love you guys. Be safe. We'll see you guys tomorrow.